are not clean in your kitchen, you can't be clean anywhere. You came to catch a vibe. Now, how the way you are speaking? Because of social media, catering has become like a very lucrative business.
Hey, Choba, Choba. Yo, what's up, people? What's up, family? What's up, friends? I'm sure you're wondering where we are tonight. We're at a coded location, one that is getting ready to be premiered. And my guest tonight, even before I introduce her, right? Welcome to the wedding podcast right here. And the premises of which I don't have to mention. But yeah, we are here to work. We came to make it happen, and it will definitely happen. My guest tonight, right? She's an Osofo Mami. She's a kukuta. Someone will say a kecha. She's a beautiful mother. She's a mother for all and a mother for one beautiful niece of mine. And even before I introduce her, the last time I came here, I didn't get food to eat. The last time I met her outside, I got food to eat. But she's one of the most beautiful women with a thick skin you'll find out there. Not Samia Dimpa, but she's a good woman, right? Good, super good woman. One that we adore in the event space right here in Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my utmost pleasure at this particular time to introduce to us all. I call her Nanama. Some people call her Tabita Kum. Some people call her Chop by Experience. Others call her Food Bank. Good evening, Ma.
Hi, good evening.
Hey, Miss Ma. Oh, sorry.
Ma.
Good evening, young lady.
Good evening,
Nyame
Troy.
adom me ho yɛ paa. Meda nyame. Ɔho ayɛ fɛ paa o.
Medase. Meshada na mesisi me ho se me ba.
Yeah, there be any about her. We're in your premises.
Okay.
Yeah.
Medase.
How has it been?
It's been tough, but you're here.
You're here.
Yeah.
Right. My people want me to tell you that they admire you so much. You're a force to reckon with. You're a very hardworking woman, forceful. Now, see, a be about Vela, woman of Velo, say Vele, or say Venom, or whatever. Yeah, it best qualifies you also. And then we are glad to have you here. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having us. And so, folks, we're live on all social media platforms: YouTube, Instagram, X, or maybe Twitter, TikTok. Kindly follow us, subscribe. Make sure you keep the comments coming down there. You're a part of this family, and we're doing this together. Back onto the main matter. I think every interview, right, we need to start with the crawling before we start working. Someone will ask, who's Nanama Food Bank?
Okay. So, Nanama, I don't know if I have to talk about myself or about.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, so,
okay, so one, I don't know how it's a strong woman who never thought had a dream to get to where she is now because of where I started my whole life journey, from where I was birthed to where I grew up, and through all the stairs that I have climbed. I never saw myself to be the Nanama that we all know or hear or see today. But I thank God for his unfailing grace and how far he has brought me and where I am now. So this is one young lady who had passion for food, cooking, because I grew up in a very big community. My dad is a pastor, so I grew up in a mission house. Where you know that kind of home where they will do fufu in different bowls and spread it. Yes, and then they'll put the big pot of soup and we'll spread it out. So from my early stage, I knew that I had something for food because I always get excited when we are cooking and we are serving it out to a lot of people. And then, but life is different. It directs you where it wants to direct you, and then later you will have to shape it into where you want it to take you. So I did a few corporates. I worked in Parliament. I did my service at Cocoa Board. I did a few clothing business, and then later I ventured into fabric sales.
Wow.
But I realized that my friends were not paying me. And I ended up fighting almost every friend of mine, and I was losing my friends.
Wow.
So I'm like, you know what, let me do something that until you give me money, I can't serve you, which is food. Because you can't just walk into any restaurants. No matter your relationship with the person, you have to pay. Yeah. So, that's how come I started this whole food business. I personally had a passion for cooking.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
So
Even before we go in there, this even tells me that Charlie, what bobra, you're a hustler. Because
oh yeah,
going round,
100.1%.
yeah, because you're a hustler, doing all these businesses and then coming to a pivot where you think this is what you had wanted to do. You've really tried. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How did it start?
With Food
Food
Bank,
bank.
I would say, like I said earlier, it started when I realized that my friends were not being fair with me in terms of the things I sell to them.
Okay.
And then I decided, okay, let me go for something I've always wanted to do, which was food.
Okay.
And then because I did my service in a public search, which is Ghana Cocoa Board,
Okay.
I met a lot of people. I created this kind of contacts with them. There's a lot of networking in that space because I was in the procurement department,
Oh,
which
okay.
served almost all the departments there. So I realized, okay, to start, let me use that as my starting point.
Yeah.
So I started making food and I'll take it to Cocoa Board and then I'll sell it to my department people and they'll also direct me and introduce me to their friends.
Okay.
So it started that way, but I realized that people will order food and then after so I was taking it on order. I'll send the
Okay.
list to my friends and they'll choose the food they want.
Okay.
But and then at the end you see that you are making, let's say, banku and oko for one person
Okay.
and you have some left. So I said, okay, then why not get a restaurant where after serving your people
Okay.
at the offices, you can have people walk in and get food. Then I started Food Bank restaurant at Audome Runabout,
Wow.
which was like a single shop space. So I used to cook for my house and bring it. And then along the line, I found another corporate work at Maripoma Constructions. I was the HR manager there. So I'll wake up at dawn, get the food ready, then get some girls to sell for me with the help of my mom. And she's been my support system from day one. And then I'll go to work. So
Okay.
that too didn't work for me.
Oh.
It was like I didn't have the clientele base. I didn't have people who knew about my brand. So after the few ones buy from you, you still have food left.
Okay.
I mean, I had my own challenges to the point that you open a shop for a whole day and you only make a sale of, I remember Vita Milk and Awake Mineral Water.
Okay.
And then you have to send the food back home. So I gave up on the way and I had to close it down. But because I still loved the whole food thing, I thought that, oh, maybe they were not buying because I didn't have varieties. So it was just jollof and fried rice. And then sometimes yam chips. So I moved then to get a bigger space to add a few locals. It looks like me and I'm the local dishes, kakra.
Mhm.
So
Oh,
I
yeah,
added
Santini. So,
exactly,
yeah,
you know. So
yeah.
I added a few options to my menu,
Okay.
and I had another hell of it. Like it wasn't easy.
Wow.
Then I had to also stop and enter fully into catering services. So that's how come I had to stop this whole restaurant business because I felt like it wasn't working for me.
Okay.
So I had to put a stop to it because I didn't have the people and then build it small, where I'll start doing soups and stews and those tray foods, like the one we call the pan food. Yes. So that at least I'll use that to build on my customer place. Then that way I'll get a lot of people to sell to when I'm to do a restaurant in the future. So that's actually what really inspired me to do the full-time catering, just to build on my clientele base.
Wow. But speaking about how it started and where you are now, you never spoke of going to a catering school, any vocational school. Is this something you schooled for it or it's a passion that came to you?
No, I didn't. It's something like I said, I love to cook.
Okay.
Growing up, when my parents are traveling and they leave money for us, though we have people who cook for us, they'll give you some money for your upkeep and all. I'll use mine to get ingredients and I end up feeding everyone in the house with the little that I got from my parents. And I didn't go to any catering school till date. I don't have a certificate for food.
Wow.
Yes, every recipe or every meal you taste at Food Bank is something I created.
Wow.
Sometimes I just see myself do it. I do it and I then share it with my team to see how it is. And before we know, it's become everyone's favorite on our menu.
Wow.
So I'm not an alumni of any catering or culinary school. It's self-taught. And then I've actually gone on the job because as you are doing, I got help from Fiona Foods from the genesis of my journey. She actually made me understand catering because I didn't know how to even measure myself out with numbers, what to cook for the number that you are given to serve. So she took me through that whole process by teaching me that okay, if you are doing for a number of this, you have to spread the meal across because I used to do a lot of food, and by the time I'm done with an order, I have that same quantity left. Yes, because you know when you go to school, they will teach you all that. But because I didn't go to school, I was struggling with the quantities and how to do it to fit the number that you have been booked for. So I don't really have any catering school background. Yes, as many self-taught.
Wow. Folks, if you don't know who I'm talking to Nanama, CEO of Food Bank and Chop Bar Experience. And of course, she owns the premises where we are. We'll come to that also. Did you at a point feel like, you know what, let me just give up and do something else after
Several
going through
times.
everything?
Even yesterday, I felt like giving up. Yeah.
Even yesterday.
Yes. Every step of this whole food, I don't know why now, because of social media, catering has become like a very lucrative business.
Okay.
It's like that is where money is. I mean, I guess some of our colleagues.
Is it a fiction that is lucrative or it has become like?
It has become. It's never easy. People say that say so.
I hear that.
But you know, it's like the setups we do for events. We only spread the beautiful part of it, the finished product. Yeah. Sometimes ojolof moashi, as I be trust me jollof ashi. I mean, you only show the end product, yes, of it. So I think that giving up, as every entrepreneur, if you don't give out at some point, then you're not an entrepreneur. Wow. Because there are challenges. You can't have it all. And my biggest challenge, not me, well, I can't speak for everyone, but I think the biggest challenge of every young entrepreneur has been their workers, their team, the people that they try to put together to be able to get that vision come out. They've always been our biggest challenge. And then once in a while, you come into contact with a few customers, suppliers, and all. So it hasn't been an easy journey. Wow. Yes.
But what has been your backbone? Is it family? Is it the passion? What has been your backbone?
The fear of losing myself.
That's very deep. The fear of losing yourself.
Yes. I see. Because growing up, I always said that I wanted to be someone. In Chiombeka say, I didn't want my name to be like, oh, this is Amma. Yeah. Oh, hi, Amma. Oh, I'm Amma. Who is Amma? Okay. Yeah. So I wanted to be someone. Like I wanted to have a title. Mm-hmm. And well, I didn't end up having a title of a doctor or a lawyer or a nurse or a beautician or anything. Because I love to cook, I think I've been able to, by the grace of God, I've gotten that title of somebody who makes good food and feeds people with good food. So I don't see family is there. I mean, I've had support from some of my siblings and even some good friends. I have friends like Sika Jemfua, Babash. I think she was part of the Ghana Most Beautiful 2012 also. Oh, okay. Mother Betha, Maquillage by Abena. I have a few people like Pekuteria. I remember when I started, they used to post on social media. Facebook then. Okay. It wasn't social media. It was just Facebook. Yeah. They were making videos. They were not even clear videos, and they were making a lot of noise. I remember how Mother Betha used to push me to come and open a new restaurant at Achimota when I gave up on the North Kanisha one. And Baba, my friend, will leave her home, come and spend the night with me and help me make a few orders before she goes to work in the morning. I mean, I had that support from some good friends then. And then, but for me, I've always had this fear that if I want to buy this, I don't have to wait for anyone to help me get it. Yeah. If you give me money later, that's a bonus. Right. But if I want to buy this, I should be able to buy it. And then one of my key, I don't know how to put it, one of the things that I really hold on to is that before I'm buying this, I should have another money that can buy 2 of this. So that if I buy this today and I'm mistakenly or accidentally, I break it, I can buy another one. So how do you make that? You have to make your own money. So my backbone has been the fear of losing my will to do something for myself and not to depend on anyone.
Wow.
Yes.
These are key points, not to depend on anyone. Make sure you work things out by yourself and then make it well. From where you started making the jollof and fried rice and it didn't go well, you had to move on to other stuff. From that time of food bank till now, how do you say is food bank?
Food Bank has really grown into the Ghanaian event industry because we've always been special from the taste of our food to our creativity when it comes to how we display our food, being it in the traditional way or in the Western way. I feel like, or I must say that it hasn't been easy because every day the industry becomes competitive. There are new vendors coming up. Some you inspire, some even inspire you, even though they
Yeah.
are new.
Yeah.
And then there are people that I used to look up to a lot in the industry. Like I would not take Fiona out because I was looking at her age then and how far she had come in the industry. And I knew that, look, I can do this for years and years and years and I'll still be okay.
Yeah.
So I think getting to where we are now, there's been a massive growth.
Massive
I mean, we
growth.
are not where we started.
Yeah.
We are not there yet, but I mean, we've come
Yeah.
far.
You're on course. But
Yes.
how old is Food Bank?
Unofficially, Food Bank is 10 years this
Woo!
year. But officially, I mean, after registration and everything, this is my
Yeah.
9th year.
I prefer the unofficial.
Unofficial.
Yeah, so it's been a decade
No, we will
already.
celebrate next year.
We have to. We have to. We
Yes,
so have
hopefully
to.
our 10th anniversary.
And I know there are younger people out there who think this is an easy business. Just like you said,
Mocha.
everyone can go into it. When did you feel like, I'm running at a loss? Let me just forget about the food and do another business. Because you've done clothing,
Mhm.
you've done
Fabrics.
corporates, you've done fabric, and then food.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever, you said yesterday, for instance, you had wanted to give up,
Yeah.
but like the whole food bank thing as a whole,
Mm-hmm.
have you ever felt, oh, let me forget about it and do something else?
I have never seen myself do any other thing better than food. I think when we go out with friends or parties and my friends are dancing, I pass this comment like the minimani no, I don't know anything else to do. I've never seen myself do anything better than I do food because when I'm in my kitchen, I cook. I mean, I'm the head chef in my kitchen. When I'm in my kitchen, it's like I'm in my happy place.
Wow.
Yes, but like I said, giving up, your major challenge is your client, your employees. The people you have employed to help you bring that common goal up. They make you feel like you want to give up. I remember the early stages of my career as food bank.
Yeah.
I went to Asmera one Sunday and a friend's mom introduced me to her. It's like, oh, this is my daughter. She started this. And she said, oh, there's only one advice I can give you. The work itself as a catering business is very good. I mean, if you take care of it, it will take you far. But one thing that can easily make you give up is your employees. So make sure you are very much involved in every step of it. You can get to a point where you have everyone. I mean, now when you start, you'll be cutting your own onions, peeling your own ginger and garlic and all that. But it will get to a point where you find people do all that for you. Don't lose yourself.
Yeah.
Don't get too comfortable because that's when they will hit you hard. Because now they'll feel like, okay, I am there. Without me, your business cannot operate, and you will lose them, and you lose your brand. So I feel like we give up every day, but because you have to fall in love with what you do.
Right.
Once it's like dating a guy who troubles you, and I mean you love him.
Oh, it's just like my producer. Like he's been wearing his girlfriend, and then
You
his girlfriend
see?
left him. Yeah.
Uh-huh. So like when you love someone, you don't look at their flaws.
Yeah.
So when you love what you do, you don't
Yeah.
look at your challenges. You don't look at your breakdowns. You don't look at the hard times. You only look at how people will even enjoy your food, how they will celebrate your brand. And that's been my most inspiring moment.
Wow.
When people enjoy my food and they give me good comments.
Feedback.
Yeah, it always tells me that then I'm doing the right thing.
Wow.
Yes.
Looking at the catering space, right? Some 15 to maybe a bit more than 15 years ago, caterers would just go to event, put a long rectangular table, white tablecloth, put the food on it, and they will start sharing the food. That was what we knew. All of a sudden, there's this, I don't know if I should say trend or the new way of doing things where You guys will set up chandeliers and some features and some things, some skirmishes be before the food come. It means we have grown from that time to this time. What do you think has accounted for the growth now, the kind of catering system we are seeing? Even before we come to how it's done, why are we doing the setups and those things now? Is it because of marketing, or is something you do as food bank, you do for your personal clients?
I'll speak for myself.
Yeah.
I think before anyone gets to enjoy your food, you have to invite them to the food. It's not by walking to them and inviting them, but how you have presented your food. Let's say this tea, if I want you to have it, this teapot, this cup, the spoon I'm using is giving you that luxury bougie vibe. Settings. So you would want to have a sip and know what is inside.
Yeah.
I always say that everyone you invite to your event, no matter the position they hold in your life, can afford food. Only because bearing a gari, you get it. So when they come to your event, you make sure you serve them what they are worth. Meaning that you can't just put food in anything for anyone to eat.
Wow.
How you present even tells how you cooked it. If you are not clean in your kitchen, you can't be clean anywhere.
Presentation.
Yes. So your setups, your arrangements, and how you put the whole thing together is what we invite, because we do events where we serve presidents, prime ministers, cabinet ministers, pastors, CEOs, bosses, chairmen, and women of like companies. And let's say you are serving an event where the vice president or the president or the chief of staff is there. Before they will eat your food, I mean, looking from afar from where they sit, they have to tell how your food will taste, where they look. Sometimes it can look shepe, but encassing. Which and also but and no cry no ma will certain no and attracting no to come, because everybody has got a different taste bud. So I mean they might also enjoy it. And then with the chandeliers, I think for me, I introduced that due to the timing of events. You know, it's now that there are lots of event centers in Ghana. When we started, it was mainly your client's house or maybe a school park or a compound or a garden. And when the event goes a bit into the evening, you realize that people will be struggling to see what you are serving them. So it's not necessarily chandeliers, anything that will put a little light on your food so that at least they are okay and comfortable with what they are putting into their mouth is what we are looking at. But the whole chandelier thing is to add a little touch of, glam to the setup and the presentation that you do.
What's the largest number you've had to feed?
4,000.
Yes.
Yes.
Rally.
Rally was a funeral. And I think Choba, Choba experience,
4,000.
Yes.
How? I think I'm even getting short of words. I don't know how that works. 4,000.
It's easy.
Funeral, 4,000. So if someone calls you to say that, oh, I have a funeral, I want you to cater for the food, 4,000 people, what are the process the person has to go through?
Oh, first you have to understand the kind of service they want.
Okay.
You know, mostly funerals, some do pack food for the masses.
Okay.
And then maybe they do what do we call it? Buffet for their special guest.
Okay.
So in that case, you will sit down. Sometimes it's even a phone conversation. Okay. And other times you have to meet them in person, understand what they want. You create a menu, or if you have an already customized package, you share with them. They make their selections. Then you do your calculations and get paid. Wow. And then you deliver. But before you do, you have to make sure you can deliver. I mean, don't be too quick to jump on an event because you think you want to make the numbers and post and put the number there. You have to grow on the job. Like I said, I didn't even know how to do all those calculations. I got a mentor, somebody to teach me how to do it. So if you don't even know how to do it and you get that job or gig, it's only fair to reach out to somebody who has done it before to help you.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with
No,
that.
no, no, no,
There's
no.
nothing
Me,
wrong
for
with
me,
that.
if you call me, I'll help you out.
Have you ever had an event where people have complained about your food?
Never.
Let's talk about some of the demerit or disadvantage with events. Let's say you get to the event venue, you are feeding the people. What are some of the difficulties you get at events?
Numbers.
Numbers is relative. Let's break it down. Numbers are, so if I tell you my guest is 200, you know you are feeding 200, so you don't have to complain.
No, because you know your guest is not 200. You're only giving me 200 to cut down budget.
Oh,
Yes.
is that? Oh, I'm not sure it works like that.
It
Because
does.
I'll tell you 200. So obviously you're cooking for only
Who
200
is feeding your
people.
DJ? Who's feeding your photographer? And they always leave the vendors out. I don't know why. For instance, you don't pay vendors to feed your caterer to feed your vendors. And then your photographer leaves to go and get food to eat. And by the time he's back, your husband held you in some way that could have been captured. Who will capture it for you? He's gone. Your DJ will leave the sound to play and then go and get food to eat because, I mean, his name is not on the guest list to be fed. Oh, bonyum na no what me tiasio me wuyo.
No, so it means you're trying to create the impression that it's possible that caterers can also feed vendors at events.
It's not as possible. They have to. You have to feed the vendors.
But when the client comes to you, they're only coming to you for their wedding
I
guests.
always suggest to them. As not I recommend. Because I feel like I just gave you some good reasons why they should. You booked a DJ. The DJ is playing. He's hungry.
Yeah.
He has to go and get food. The event is at let's say
somewhere that's not motorable.
Your house. Yeah. He doesn't know the neighbor. The DJ lives at Cantonment or East Legon, Alajo, and he's in Santa Maria, catering for your event. And you want the DJ to so they will be asking. By the time they are back, instead of them playing Nasi song, they are playing Ampedu. Because maybe as the settings on his laptop, and someone will say that they have paid them and blah, blah, blah.
We all get that a lot.
No, I still think that paying them or not paying, they can decide not to eat the food too.
Yeah.
It's not like because you're also paying, they have to eat it. I mean, there are waiters even serving food and drinks. And some events close as late as 10 p.m., 11, sometimes a.m.s. How do you expect your vendors to survive? There was an event where a planner told me that who was a family planner, not the planners that we know, that as a serious professional vendor, you have to come with your lunch pack. Have you also calculated that even the hours of the event, it can go bad? Yeah. The fact that I came with my lunch doesn't mean it has to be intact by the time I want to eat because the event itself can even drag.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so I feel like my biggest challenge with events have been numbers. And you know, the kind of communication we have with the clients, the guests don't know.
That's true.
Sometimes the clients come and they open up to you that, oh, me who also, but this is what I can afford. Do your best. But the doing your best is like 2 times what they are booking you for. And you hear aunties. You hear some of the mothers of the bride.
You come and fight
me
you.
too, me buy for now. And then the social media for no they don't do anything. Sometimes you want to talk. Yeah. But talking to is like you are breaching the you and the client's confidentiality. So I feel like sometimes we have to just be truthful to our vendors so that they can also deliver and give you the better service. And then for me, that's been my major.
I think another difficulty is I have experienced an event where someone carries a plate to the buffet. Mm-hmm. There was rice, jollof, fried rice, and banku. The person also jollof, fried rice, banku, shito, and stew, and there were meat or bako for. And then they took it out somewhere to go eat. And then I was furious about it. And I got angry, I think, because of how they were served. I was like, the caterer could have done one ladle, and asked them to go. Is that not possible?
No, it's not possible. For me, I don't restrict anyone at my buffet.
Oh.
Being it a vendor, a security person, whatsoever. Because you don't know the people. You only see guests or people in a queue, whether they are the uncle of the groom or auntie of the bride or cousin or niece or nephew. You don't know. You are there to serve. Mind you, if you are not careful in your head, I've had an event, I think I did an event at Wager, and the groom called me very angry after the event that they didn't like the way my people serve. No more to say baby. And trust me, if you had dished the food in smaller portions, this same client will come and tell you that I have paid you to feed my guests and you are serving them in smaller portions. So I feel like how we serve at an event, if the person can eat it, there's a spread. You have about 15 or 12 or minimum of 10 dishes on the table. Obviously, by the time they get to the last food pots or dish pot, their plates will be full. I mean, we've had instances where people will take all the proteins and still want more. And when you tell them it's okay, they get angry. So me, I tell my people, chess and answer.
Let's talk about some of the good moments. What are some of the good moments you remember during, the times where you were working serving people? What are some of the fulfillments within it?
Oh, when people go like, hello, please, you did the food. I say, oh yes, where is your boss? Oh, madam, the food is good. I ate. It's been a long time. I ate this good at an event. It's one fulfilling moment for me.
Wow.
Because I have had pregnant women say that since they got pregnant, they've never enjoyed any good food or anytime they eat, they throw up. But funny enough, when they ate at the event, they don't feel like throwing up. I mean, it's one of a big deal for me because it's like, and I guess some of them call me after the event that, because they enjoy my food, they want me to maybe give them some dishes till they deliver. Pregnancy comes with its own wahala. So I mean, to tell me the food was good, the service was good, and I mean to get clients even sometimes introduce me to family members or friends or colleagues that they did our food and it's good and I think we should use them. Is I mean one of the good times I've had at events.
I have had events where the caterer said, "Eduane nasa." Have you experienced that before? When you were
Yes,
starting?
a lot of times. Why? Because they are not true with us with the numbers.
In the course of where people are.
Yes, you can't give me 150 and let me meet 300 people and expect me to feed everyone. I can't do that magic.
You, Nasa, what do you do?
It's finished. Yeah, pong.
Oh.
And trust me, in such cases, they don't even talk. The couple don't say anything because they themselves they know. Now, do or now to any people who's on those. Who's on my bros? On my bros, except at the planets. They can have food bank. And I'm the madam. Asa, it's done.
Wow.
Asa, then I'm a. One thing I make sure I don't do is to run out of food on the numbers you have booked me for. Yeah, can't vendor or I give food a lot because sometimes even my kitchen they fight me. They're like, the food is too much. 300. We've done this. This is fine. They've paid. Give them good service. But when I'm out, I'm out.
But
meaning that
you're saying afraid you are any coffee.
Nyam nam de buy.
If you come and serve the people.
Yes.
And then someone will say, I saw the caterer. She took some.
Sometimes some of the things go bad because of bad timing. They can tell you that the wedding is at 1 and the wedding starts at 4. The reception that is supposed to start at 5 is starting at 8. Bridal train, Nipa Bay 15. Obia the Nyombesa. Now what's what you are telling the MC, let them come and eat, Madam Aminye Mejuma. And then you wait.
With the MC, you are catching freak.
You are catching freak. You don't know that people are hungry.
So that one is the coordinator.
The food has a time span. You have to let people eat on time.
So I think time factor is also
time factor. Problem. Because if you tell me your reception is at 5 and they're eating at 10, a meal like beef sauce, fried rice, and mind you, before I get there are hours that the food were prepared. So in that case, my team, my supervisor will not allow the food to be served. So sometimes you see them holding a big pot, a heavy pot out of the event space. And so again, open it. I want to see it. Red coffee. The grinder, the red one. We will give it to you. But when it's not good, I can't give it to you. To come back and tell me that you ate my food and you reacted to it. So I mean, we don't take the food we bring to your event home. I
Yeah.
brought the food in its fresh state. I brought it to you.
Mhm.
That's the thing. I brought it
Yeah.
in a fresh state. So if I want to take some, I'll just dish it and put it in my fridge. Not carrying
Yeah.
it from the event to my house would do anything.
Wow.
So that one, I don't see that to be
And the
any.
other thing is plate. The plate is finished.
It all comes back to the numbers.
Surely.
Like you give me 200 in my with my team. If you give us 200, so every
Yeah.
100 is a plus 10.
Okay.
Yes, but
Okay.
sometimes let's say 200, they'll pack like 230 or 250
Okay.
to the events,
Okay.
depending. Sometimes funerals, like you can even pack like 280.
Okay.
Yes. So when we get there and the numbers are more than what we are booked for, we have sometimes they watch the place. That is not the best way I want
Correct.
my place to be handled. I mean, hygienically, it's not all that safe.
Yeah.
So it has even become a thing for us that okay, now when you are going, just carry some sponge and soap so that you can clean them properly for them. And you can't also say that every event you carry plenty plates. No,
Yeah, that's true.
because not every event that you run out of plates.
That's
so with
true.
the plate issue,
That's true.
it's not as because
It's
they
not
even take it
the
home.
numbers. Do you consider um personal problems like maybe allergies and some um personal maybe, or should I even say individual problems when it comes to food safety before you start taking in orders or requests? Because I know there are people who will tell you, "Oh, I don't eat this, I don't eat that," and this is a food for the masses. Do you take into consideration some of these things before cooking, or because the client said me pe jollof, fried rice, banku fufu, that's it for you?
For me, I think that as every individual, you have to be responsible for your own health.
Okay.
If I know I have allergies to nuts
Okay.
and I go for an event, I have to be careful what I eat. There are some dishes that you will never find nuts in. You won't find nuts in jollof rice for any reason,
Okay.
unless they tell you there's a special type of jollof rice.
Okay.
You won't find nuts in angwamu. You won't find nuts in plain rice. You won't find nuts in salad, unless maybe it's a Waldorf salad that you have the walnuts in it.
Yeah.
So I feel like sometimes we have to be responsible for our own health. And as a client, if you know that you have people who have allergies, it will only be right for you to inform your caterer that, okay, like for instance, this Saturday, I
Okay.
have an event and they stated it
Okay.
boldly that there shouldn't be any type of nuts in the dishes I'm making.
Okay.
Though their menu doesn't have any nuts meal in it, they are still making you aware so that you be very intentional about it. Maybe you have a spice that you use that has nuts in it that you don't, you yourself, maybe you know.
Yeah.
So they will just prompt you so that you know what to do. Like some people are allergic to seafood. And we
Yeah.
use shrimp tablets like
Yeah.
Maggie shrimp, the onga cubes, and all that.
Yeah.
So if they inform you, pre-inform you, then you know how to make the meals.
Oh,
Sometimes it has to affect everyone. Or I'll tell you how many are they. Then we can make something small for them, and then we'll give it to the person on at the time of serving, so that the other people who want to enjoy freely all the dishes can have their own way.
Wow. Let's talk about pricing. How does it work?
Mhm.
Is it a collective or maybe per head? When someone comes to, so I have 200 people, so 200 people, and then you charge, or you'd have to do the per head system.
Because everyone and the budgets they want to work with for their events, I believe before every event you have to set up a budget. Well, I am not the one to tell you, but sometimes just right to know how much you want to spend on decor, food, blah blah blah. Yeah. So based on that, me as food bank, I have customized packages
Okay.
which are even open for your own modification. Like you can change a few things in it with different prices.
Okay.
Because if you say 200 and I say I'm taking 500 cedis per head, meaning that you will have to pay an amount. Maybe the number of dishes you want may not even be up to that 500 quote.
Yeah.
So it's only fair for me to have a price breakdown.
Yeah.
So different menu, different rates. Then you choose which one you're comfortable with. That's use your budget.
Wow. Wow.
Yes.
I hear you expensive.
Very.
Very. It means you're very expensive.
What's
Is
your
it
definition for expensive?
expensive? Yeah, expensive is something maybe majority can't afford.
Are you sure?
Because
No, I mean the people that know your worth will come. I'm not
mm,
expensive like I charge anything over the top, or
mm,
I give quotes based on what I think I want to take from you.
mhm,
Like I said, we give
yeah,
you menu,
yeah,
and every menu and the rate it comes with. So you yourself, if you know that your budget is 200 per head,
mhm,
you know what you get for 200. And when you see
okay,
the 200, the 300, the 400, the 500, you now, as you are looking at the
yeah,
menu, you know that no, this one has some seafood, some, let's say, pure continental dishes and all that. Let's say there are some packages that come with starters, like appetizers and desserts. Some are just straightforward from your salads, your mains, your proteins, and then your sides. So you know that, okay, for instance, if you're paying 200 per head, you are getting 12 dishes. If
okay,
you're paying 400, you can get like 22 dishes.
okay,
So if you think that, okay, the 22 is too much for you, then you go for what is within your budget. So for me, we have tailor-made packages that suits every budget.
mhm,
That is something that the ones that we are worth, not
yeah,
every budget means, let's say you come like 10 CD per head. Nene papa you cry saying.
hmm,
You get what I'm saying? I
yeah,
mean,
yeah. Have you, because of the pricing system and how
mhm.
expensive you're saying you are?
I'm not expensive as how you are making. Please
Uh,
don't sack
oh,
people from coming
no,
to me.
they'll come. You said they know your worth. So even if
Yes,
it be
come. We
1
have
billion, they'll
tailor-made
come.
packages for everyone. It
They'll
doesn't mean
come.
I'm expensive. Like
Was
I'll
it
charge you thousand.
bespoke package, Anna?
Oh, yeah, they are far.
Have you ever catered for an event where you weren't fully paid before?
Oh, I'm the missing Adrian. December, I'm the missing Adrian.
No, but no, don't you have a contract, or how does it work? Or
We
I have
do.
to pay, and then after the event I pay the rest.
No, it's 100% payment, but you know, sometimes some circumstance may lead to you, the clients having a little of your money with
Yeah.
them. For instance, they will tell you 100, and maybe the morning of the event they will come and tell
Yeah.
you that, oh, looking at the numbers that came, let's say, especially with events that they book you for maybe a wedding and book another vendor for the traditional marriage.
Okay.
Sometimes they will see that, okay, they booked all of you maybe months before the event. And on the traditional day, they realize that a lot of people came for the traditional. So then they want to double up a
Double the
little with the
number.
numbers. Sometimes the calls come in a bit late and you have to,
Yeah.
I mean, understand, because see that, oh, the major part of the money has been paid. Some do pay, some even pay you on the day of the event. The coordinators or they themselves will
come
walk
and
to you and give you your money. And I've had situations where they will tell the coordinator, and after the event, they'll tell the coordinator that they didn't tell them, they didn't confirm with the add-on. So it's usually got to do
it's
with
your
the
loss.
add-ons, not the main booking. Main booking
Wow.
there, how much I remember.
Wow.
Yes, full payment.
So this person who made away with the balance, what did you do?
For him, it wasn't add-on. He actually called me to plead with me that, oh, he begs me, like he has some challenges with his app. He came from abroad.
Wow.
So the day, the offertory and the gifts they will, the offertory and the gifts they will give him, he will pay me after the event.
And it never came.
And he came back saying that when his pastor wanted food, the food was not there. So he need explanation for that. But my point is, your reception was 5 and they finished the ceremony at 3.
Wow.
The food was not supposed to be there at 3. And there was no like prior communication that, okay, you have to pack food for pastors.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it became a whole issue. And I told him that, well, you can keep it.
You can keep. Upon all the events, which one is the most easiest to cater for?
All the events.
All the events. Funeral, parties, corporate, weddings. Which one is the most easiest to cater for?
I would say funeral. Because, you know, funeral, you don't have control of the numbers. No. Easiest as, are you talking about as in the
to cater for,
to
like
cater
to feed,
for?
yeah.
It's funeral, because funerals, like, you don't have control of your numbers. Sometimes it's not even the fault of the client. It happens. I mean, you know, funeral is very open.
Yeah.
And people come to mourn. People come to the funeral because they know the disease or the family. Others use posters to come and eat.
Yeah.
Yes. So sometimes even the clients think that, oh, they want to book you for 200 people, but then they'll end up having 300 for, and they themselves they get overwhelmed.
Wow.
And some people, to maybe as their parents or a friend or someone they know, and they book you for, so they don't even know that the person that they are booking you for have that crowd. I remember I did an engagement at Taifa, and the girl said strictly by invitation, 100 people. We live in abroad, and we don't know anyone in Ghana. We got there. We had about 250 people there. Apparently, the mother went to the village to put a bus there.
Yes.
The girl cried. And before her people would eat, we've served the family. There was no food, and I mean, it was one story.
Wow. Before we move on to the next phase of this conversation, let's talk about how to maybe do better as a caterer. People come in, they bring you lesser numbers, and in the end, they bring out larger numbers. What are some of the things we can do to curb some of these problems at events moving forward?
I feel like if you really understand the work, even with the numbers now, on my side, it's getting better.
Okay.
Because now I try to have such conversations and then bring your mind to some of the surprises that can happen or may happen at your events. Like I would bring your mind to serving the vendors. I'll bring your mind to making sure that you have a guest list. So me, when you come, I'll ask you, how many people do you have on your guest list now? Like, oh, Food Bank, now we have about 150. I said I expect 200. Because these are people that you have remembered at the time of your list. There are people that will hear, people you meet at the bank or in shops or church, and go like, oh, Charlie, I'm getting married, 25th June. Charlie, it's not been easy. God has been good. Officially, you've invited them. But you don't know. So all these people, you don't get back on your list to rewrite the list or add their name to it. So sometimes when you talk, like, we're like, oh yeah, you are right. Then let's do 200. So when you go and there are surprises, it's very limited. Like say plus a 10 or 2, which you are able to handle. And I always say that as a caterer, though sometimes they're not true with their numbers, you also have to find a way to at least serve. There are some that you can't do anything, but the ones that I think you can control, you have to do your best and make sure everyone is well.
Let's talk about food safety. I think some 20 years ago, there was this wedding. It happened around my church where the caterer brought the food, everything went on, they ate the food, and after some 8 or 9 hours later, we had people throwing up, others were rushed to the hospital. I think 2 people lost their lives. With instances like this, people started blaming the caterer. Say the food was spoiled, she didn't cook the food well, and all that. What are some of the things we can do to stop some of these things? I'm sure you've heard some of these stories before.
I have, but I there's one of the things I'm grateful to God for is that I've never had that incident, and I will never have it.
We thank God.
I think even as we caterers who make food, don't be too comfortable with the people you work with. You know, and it also sometimes it happens to people who have businesses and they themselves they don't understand the business. You know, somebody can have a catering company and doesn't go to the kitchen. They don't cook. They don't even understand how the dishes come together. They challenge or putting your mind together and what me build a brand. So whatever that happens there, they don't even see it. You can't always be there. I mean, there are times you'll be away, you travel, or you even be at another event and there's another one prepping. But make sure you set those structures. Let your workers understand food safety. Me, I tell my workers, if you don't handle it well and I get a case at the police, I will drag you with me.
Sharp.
I tell them, and then you have to also be intentional about the things. Make sure you repeat it to them. I mean, they are human, and you know how workers can behave. So you have to constantly remind them that this thing that you are doing, you don't handle it this way. You don't hold it this way. Put this in that. Like for instance, FDA will tell you that you have to put your stuffs in a bucket and not in a poly bag all that. You have to make sure you insist. Me, I can go to my freezer and say that because the freezer is in a mess, I'm not paying anyone.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Me, I can tell you that this thing you have put it here. And for me, I'm not going to use. I will use your money to buy another one.
Sure.
Yes. So you won't put it there
Makes them
because
on
you're
their
going to
toes.
lose part of your salary. So I feel like you have to enforce certain rules or structures or strategies in your kitchen space to prevent that. And another thing that can cause that is the timing of the food.
Okay.
So I always, and sometimes not even about the clients, the planners, they will tell you, they will send you a timeline with
Yeah.
dining at 2:30, knowing that the ceremony is at 2.
6.
Dining is at 6 because they will take pictures, they will do all sort of things. So for me, I feel like as just this evening, I was talking to a planner. I told her that what time exactly is the ceremony?
Yeah.
And 1:30. I said,
Yeah,
what
not even
time?
sure.
Because you don't, and I told her if I come after 4 hours, I'll charge you for extra hours.
Fair.
Said, oh, Nana, I said, yes. Why? Because you want me to come and put the food down and it will go bad. And whose name will they mention? Food bank. So I feel like, and then some of the things I think for as caterers, it will be good to prepare on site.
Okay.
For instance, your salads. If you don't have the space, make sure after making the salads in your kitchen, you get some ice in maybe the chafing inners, the round one, the old or rectangular one, depending on the size or shape of the platter your salad is in. So at least it will keep your salad cold till they dine. Okay. So that way, when you go and the event even drags, you know that okay, your salad is in good shape. Wow. Because already we like covering our salads with cling film, which is rubber. So it generates its own heat. So you have to make sure that you put some ice around it. And if it's a place like Underbreak, the Icon, there's some event spaces that have good kitchen and like nice kitchens that you can work with. So you can do your salads there. I like working on my salads on site.
Which people are the most difficult people to work with at events?
Planners, coordinators.
Is it because of the time factor or there's another reason?
It's not the time factor. They can stress you for nothing. Wow. I fight them all. I personally don't have good name with coordinators and planners. Unnecessary stress. Like, food bank, I'm like, what is your problem? Relax. Sometimes they think you have to be, no, one coordinator, somebody has paid you and the food is like, hello, you are a coordinator. And this is my first time hearing your voice. Wow. Some of them don't even know who the caterer is until the day of the event. Wow. And when they pick a phone to call you, that's what. Oh, okay.
Well,
I mean,
I also have that experience.
How they will talk to you, I'm like, are you okay? Yeah. Because I mean, at that point, the way you're even talking to, it would change anything.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, we all so have our challenges to get events done. I mean, even machines can break down. Anything can happen in a day. Sometimes a well-started day can just turn into something else. That's true. So for me, my MCs. Now, because MCs do events with bloggers, wait, I'm coming. Don't stop me. They will tell their blogger to hold the camera and they will be doing Name. What's that? And people are hungry. And you know, sometimes the guests come to the buffet table that they want to eat.
And the MC
then the MC will be like, table 1. La la li la lo bafira. And then table 2, they'll go and do Shatawale table 3.
But MCs don't coordinate food.
No, they don't coordinate food. But you know, now the MC, it has become like fanfare. As some more fanfare.
Maybe some, not every MC.
No, some are very professional. I mean, I've worked with some good. I don't want to mention names, but some are very on top of that. They know themselves. I mean, when I work with them, I make them feel it. I tell them. But some of them, table 1, request a song. And imagine having 30 tables in an auditorium. You want everybody to sing la la la. When would they eat?
And
because that moment you can't come and sometimes I go there. I think that's an event I did with. I went to put the bridesmaids to come and eat. Because you know, food.
Yeah, it can go bad.
It can go bad. So me, coordinators and some planners, those that are like cousins of the couple, brothers of the couple for Omoha Jane.
Yeah, family,
I mean, when you
family.
work with some planners and coordinators like Purple 12,
Yeah,
I mean,
Abokuma.
they have a well-structured team
Yeah,
and they handle everything as a go.
Yeah.
I mean, there are quite a good ones out there,
out there.
but I'm just talking about them because for me, I know
You have
how
good
I am.
experiences with them.
And then there are some too that are very good. Some too feel like, oh, vendor to vendor, you are a good vendor or you're a top vendor, you understand your work. No, whatever it is, still doesn't stop you from delivering.
Yeah.
So make sure that whether even the person, the vendor is your wife or your cousin, give them the right information, give them the timeline, make sure you tell them what they have to do on that day. You don't wait. And you know what some of them they do? They'll be talking plenty and they'll even go as far as to go and tell the clients that this has happened. Sometimes we all get our bad times.
Yeah.
A food can delay. I'm not saying my food delay, but I can have a tough time.
Anything can happen.
Anything can happen. Yeah. And then you see the planner and the coordinator making the whole situation worse. And I'm sure I'm not the only vendor who has had that experience. A couple of them, from decor to makeup, sometimes they are decor crying already. Not plan on normal clients, not doing cause to say the decor person is
instead
late.
of them doing the covering up.
Yes.
But if they don't name and shame to you, continue doing it.
Name and shame. Shame yourself because you yourself, you're not always right. I mean, that's what I'm saying, that we are not also encouraging that there should be flaws in your delivery as a professional vendor or as a professional, as somebody who understands your job. But like I said, there are good days and there are bad days. So anything can happen.
Wow. Have you ever been late for events before?
Yes.
And how did that one go?
Not well, especially December.
Someone Gigi Bosso.
And not coming today.
So it comes back to my last item before we go to Choba. Have you ever had an event where you forgot that you were supposed to? the way you started laughing there, and then you forgot to know that you had event on a day.
2 years ago.
2 years ago. What happened?
So I think that especially in December, you have to be careful how you take your booking. It had never happened to me until one lady called me begging me a mother's event. She said, this was Kokrobite.
Okay.
December Kokrobite traffic. Then I took the job because the way she was talking looked like
she needed.
She was
help,
at that point where and she was coming down to do the event. And these days, you just have to be careful because some of them you just get the feeling that. And she paid me. I did 4 events that day. So from my last, after all the food had gone, and that day, the timing, everything of my other events was so on point. So I said, oh, Oka is doing some sales. I was then setting up my office. Let me go and get some office furnitures. I was at Oka with my driver and then my forum. Madam, Apple 4, Mumbai and Kofobe Didio. Like, Pastor Whining. Men country, Mr. Whining, what's like? Hello?
What?
Kokrobite. My mom's 70th birthday. Hey, ready Jesus will be so be more. I'm like, that's what she said. I'm like,
and what time was the event supposed to start?
They were like, I don't even remember anything. So when she said that, I was shaking.
What?
And I'm like, God, what is going to happen to me? Because this is one thing that I always pray that it shouldn't happen. Something that will give anyone the chance to come on social media or whatever and just tarnish my image and all. So I just called my kitchen and I thank God for my team. So I had to stop everything at Oka, call my kitchen. I was shaking when I was talking to my head girl. I was like, Amma, this is what has happened. I said, Madam, what is the menu? I said, let me send it to you. And funny, a day before, even the morning, before my last food left the kitchen, I was like, it looks like I've forgotten someone's food. Is it pan food or is tomorrow? And like, Madam, check. And I checked my calendar. It wasn't like there. So I think where the mistake came from was because she called me last minute and I had to do things for her and all. I didn't capture it.
Wow.
So it was after she called me that I used that number to trace my WhatsApp conversation. I realized that the last time we spoke was a week before. Though I didn't do, I'm like, hey, I've also booked someone to do an event for at least the morning of the event. When or a day before when all other vendors were bringing this. Well, it doesn't justify the fact that I forgot the event, but I felt like she could have also, helped me out, So when I called my people and I was shaking, how I drove from car to my kitchen, Charlie, I didn't even notice. And that day I cried when I saw my team. Almost every single soul, from some waiters to the kitchen people, my brother, all hands on the kaka. And we used 3 hours to prepare food for 100 people. And it was one of the best meals I've ever made on my.
Did you get there on time?
Oh, so the good thing was the event at Tesano had closed then. Okay. So I asked them to move the chafing dishes and the stuff to Cocoa Bite whilst we moved plates from the kitchen. So I was just calling different cars. Mr. Pewa, because all the cars were out, the trucks were out. So when I stopped here, I said, please take this Cocoa Bite. So but guess what? I gave them full refund.
You gave them a refund?
Full refund, yeah. I wrote a check on my way. And then when I got there, the sister came and said, my sister is very angry. Though we met some of the people, some had left. Okay. So about 30 people had left when we got there. Okay. But we still served, they ate, we left a lot of food for them. We got our comments, like the compliments, like, hey, we do need a much say, say. But it looks like all her like VIP guests had left. So I just wrote the full check and I gave it to her.
And she took it.
100%. So
she didn't
yes, I think I traveled 2 days after the event and then I did roaming and then I had a call. And then the sister that I gave the check said, oh, my mom wants to talk to you. Okay. So when I just said, oh, we all make mistakes. And she liked the fact that even though I realized that I had forgotten, I still came through, blah, blah, blah. And I said, okay, but the money they didn't talk about it. But I think for that time, it was just so nobody would get to talk about my brand because I worked so hard for just one event to mess it. So I just had to let it go.
Wow. And ever since, has it ever happened again?
Hey, for where? Never. It will never happen to me again.
Let's talk about Chop Bar experience. You were doing your food bank thing, doing very well. Business did boom. All of a sudden, we woke up one morning and there was something called Chop Bar experience.
I didn't wake up to it.
We, not you, we.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
We don't know what's going on. Okay. We just woke up one morning and then boom, there was Chop Bar experience.
Well, it was brewed for 5 years.
5 years?
Yes. When I did my first Chop Bar in 2018.
Okay.
And then I was getting comments like, oh, you owe your followers Chop Bar, you are car Chop Bar. So I started working towards it. I had my own issues with that, but a few people I share the ideas with. And I just know that God wasn't ready for me then.
Okay.
He wanted me to do it at the right time, appointed time. Okay. So when I got the space at Islegon, well, the whole idea was to start a restaurant, but first do something on activation. Okay. So that it will bring people's mind to the space here. Mm-hmm. Then when I develop it, it will be easier to, direct them or where you came to put it. Okay. And to say that our plans are not our plans, our ways are not his ways. That's true. Before I could say that, it has become, everyone has fallen in love with it. So the whole concept and vision was there. But I think it was for the appointed time. And that was last year, April. Wow. And since then, it's been one blessing.
Is this something you said 5 years? Within that 5 years, were you nurturing it or you felt like it was on and off for you or you were like it was strategic?
Oh, I was nurturing it through the events I cater for.
Okay.
So with one or two, this one, what I say sometimes they don't like it, but I will say it. Mm-hmm. I brought Chop Bar into the event space.
Yes.
We know Asmera doing her own local display, but the whole Chop Bar thing where people will go and do the banko on site, fufu with the pots and displaying the soups and all that, it was food bank.
Yeah.
One lawyer Jan's daughter's wedding at Hachu. Yes. And I did that event to Purple 12.
Wow.
So when I did that event, I mean, it was actually the I don't know how to, but that was the face of my brand. That was when people got to know of me more, even though I was hanging in somewhere at
Yeah.
Awudome Runabout and all. So after I did that event, I remember I got quite a good following. I got some orders to cater for. Though people come with smaller numbers trying to get the same concept, then I will advise, then we'll create something that will give you that experience, but not exactly how you see. There's one thing that we should learn how to do that. You don't have to force yourself to do something that the person wants.
Yeah.
You have to make sure that you let them understand what it comes with and how it's done. And I'm sure that way you will be able to tell the person that, okay, look, this is what you want, but this is your number, this is your space, this is what I can do for you. So through that, I was doing it for different events, Area Experience.
Yeah.
I've done it for quite a number of events. So it was easy for me to do it because it was within me. Like, was something that I really wanted to do.
Wow.
It's like my baby. So I just did it last year, and by the grace of God, it became
Wow.
a national cake.
What people don't know is arguably Choba Experience is the biggest food festival in Africa.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, arguably,
that one.
right? How have you been able to cater for the large numbers that show up at Choba Experience?
I think it's something I already do. I mean, I cater for events, large number events. So it's been a bit challenging because it's not easy to know the number of attendance that you are going to host. I mean, and as a business person, I have to manage risk.
That's true.
So my team and I, when we set, we have a cut-off number that we cater for with excess. But it's a festival and it's an open event. I mean, you can't tell the number of people that will come to know that, okay, we are doing food for 10 or 20 people. No. And if you also don't manage your risk, you will end up having a lot of food left. So you have to find a way to balance yourself. And that's what we've been doing. For the numbers, I'm used to doing large number events. So it's not really a problem. Just that the varieties. You know, chop bar, we do a lot of food, like especially the soups. We have about 18 different soups. Yeah. And then plus the rice dishes, the kinkis, the yam chips, the bankos, the teasers, and all that. Yeah.
That's true. But are you happy with where it is now?
Yes, I'm very happy, and I'm looking forward to. I mean, fixing a lot of things. I mean, as a brand or as a business, or as something that you give back to society. Choba, I can call it an NGO. It's like giving back to society, giving people a feel of what you can do. Yes, I don't see Choba as a profitable business for me. The side of seeing people eat, dance, socialize, network is something that I am happy whenever I see it. So I'm working on getting every detail of it fixed. I mean, the feedbacks, the reviews, and all. With my team, of course, I don't do it alone. I have a whole team that will do it. Choba is beyond Food Bank and myself. There's some strong men behind it who helped me in the decision making and I mean everything that comes with it. So I'm sure people think that it's just Food Bank. No,
Yes, it's not Food Bank.
well, it's Food Bank's vision, Food Bank's initiative, and all that.
You have support.
But I have like some gallant men behind me who helps me with the decision making and also making sure that everything comes to a success at the end of the day.
Let's talk about some of the good feedbacks you've had from Choba Experience.
People have met their smallies.
People who have met their
smallies.
Oh,
you know Smally?
Oh, that be Jolly.
Jolly as Colombia. I mean, people have networked and they've been able to seal deals, do businesses, and also aside we serving the best food in Ghana. I mean, Food Bank has been able to be in that position since its inception, and I thank God for that grace because it's not easy to have that trademark of serving good food all the time. And well, everybody has got a different taste bud, so you won't always get people to like what you also make.
That's
So
true.
almost all.
Yeah.
So
that's
that
true. Yeah.
but those
Yeah.
that love the brand, love the event, and come with a positive energy, always appreciate it. And that's one thing that makes us happy as
Yeah.
organizers of the event or the festival. And I've also seen people meet good business partners. Some people will be looking for a boss or head of a
Department
company or a
yeah.
department, and they just
Meet
meet them there, and there
super.
and then they are able to fix them. So I
Yeah.
feel like it's another platform for you to network with people
Yeah.
from all sort of businesses in the country or even the world, because we get people come all the way from Nigeria, Liberia, Togo,
The UK,
outside Ghana and UK, America,
yeah.
everywhere. So I strongly believe that it's not just up to the food or the jama,
Yeah.
but you have to know your purpose of being there. And I'm not saying, okay, ubaf, kobuso, buye, juma, and all that. I mean, you see people dance and they don't know each other. You see people share something and they are happy. They are holding a sanka together and like they are vibing to a song. Shout outs to our DJs and MCs who always make sure that Choba experience is a vibe.
Yeah.
I mean, so with all this, I believe that we are getting there. We are not perfect. I mean, we are getting there.
Shouts to the Choba team, man.
Yes,
Shouts to
Choba
all of
team.
them. Let's talk about some of the disadvantages. I have heard people say our foods are expensive. The Choba for the expensive. Why do I have to buy coupon from the entry point and go inside? Whilst I don't want to eat, I only came to catch a vibe. I didn't come to eat. How about those people?
You came to catch a vibe. Now, how about you speakers? Come and catch up. I mean, so like I said, Jobba is like an NGO because the production cost alone is crazy.
Yeah.
My team and I, sometimes when we look at the figures, we don't even know how we do it.
Wow.
People see sponsors. I mean, we are grateful to some good brands out there: GB Foods, Verna, Bell Park, P2 Events, like DJ Adom, and even the MCs, Kofi Darlington, DJ and Fig Dela, and the DJ Dela and Washman. They all come to support it. And funny enough, these are people we can't even pay them for their work, for their brands, what they actually charge for events, but they all come and do it. And they know that, Charlie, it's not easy to fix all those things, even the venue. So you can't come there and say you want to vibe. How can you vibe just like that? Someone has to pay the bills. If we are not making profits, at least we should break even. We should be able to match up to the costs or the expenses that goes into the whole production. And I think the challenge has been that people still don't understand the concept. We are here to make you happy and fill your belly. You are to come and have fun. The coupons, which we are not even doing anymore, I'll tell you about that. The coupons were to control the food. People who used to bring food there. I mean, people go and buy food, they come and eat there. You leave all the waste and stuff. We hire people from Zoom Lion and all that to do the cleaning. We pay for the waste and all. And you can't just come and do that. So with the coupon, we were able to at least encourage people through the coupon to regulate their food purchases. So that at least we will be sure that, okay, if we are hosting 3,000, 4,000 people, we are guaranteed about 3,000 of them or 2,000 of them will buy from us. If you are full and you decide to keep the coupon and just have fun, that one too is good. But we realized that with the coupon, because one, we're managing our risk, we were running out of food at some point, because I mean, it's a festival. You can't always be sure of the attendance. So because of that, we had to introduce tickets at the entrance, which is our new initiative that is coming up for the next edition on 23rd of June. Yes. Where we are selling tickets for 30 cedis for the singles and couple 50 cedis. To show you again, hello, hi. You can enter as couple. Yes. To save some 5 CD on your. I mean, it can also lead to one thing or the other. So I feel like with that too, we are trying to use that so that now when you come, you decide on what you want to eat. Yes, you decide on what you want to eat. You can decide not to. You have to. But I mean, we encourage all our patrons to at least grab a bite of something. I mean,
Yeah.
it's all part of the experience.
That's true.
Enjoying good food, good music, and ambience, and that's
Great.
what Choba is about.
Honestly, I've also had people tell me, when are you coming to Kumasi? When are you coming to
You know,
Takrade?
it's
Since I'm
Kasembra.
still like, it's here. Do
It's
we have any
Kasem.
plans on
It's
maybe?
Kasem.
But we know corporate Ghana on board. They're trying to help and all that. So you think?
Who?
I know that you said that there are people,
Yeah,
sponsors
but the
here and there.
sponsors too, they have their limits. I mean,
Limits.
the companies have a target they give them,
Mm,
and destinations events
are
is very
expensive.
expensive, like very expensive. For you to move the entire team,
Logistics.
we can't go to Kumasi and leave MC Troy, DJ
Mm,
Adoma, Darlington. We can't leave DJ Della,
yeah.
MC. That we can't leave our people
Mhm.
accommodation because
Yeah.
I mean you can't tell them to get to the venue same day and
Mhm.
mount on stage and give all that energy
Yeah.
out. And then even our team, food bank team,
Mhm.
trust me, if I tell you the number of people that make the food production, you'll be wild.
Wow.
We are not up to 15.
Wow.
Just that I just
Just
thank
a
God for a
handful.
good team. Yes, we are not up to 15.
Oh.
And the core ones that can handle the food, they are not up to 6.
Wow.
But because they understand what they are doing. So if you are moving all these people, you have to consider how you are going to, I mean, accommodate them, transport, and moving the logistics and all that.
It's not
Because
easy.
some of them, we get a little support from our sponsors who give us some of the things and all that. But not everything, like there is money in it.
I'll be best here. One hour found.
Exactly. And then we
Yeah.
don't want to come and be ranting on anyone or complain to anyone. We just want to make sure that people have a good time when they come. So with the tour, as in, we have plans to go to tertiary schools and
Great.
regions and or
Great.
festivals, other
Yeah.
activation. We are even ready to partner with other festivals that are already there to do events. But I
Right.
mean, it has to meet our terms as well.
That's
So
good.
if you want to partner with Choba, Choba is not a vendor.
Yeah.
That's one thing that
Yeah,
people
that's
should know. It's not a vendor. It's a festival on its own. So to partner with Choba as another event, then it has to be an equal share where we will
Right.
all be able to freely do what we do
Right.
so that we don't disappoint our audience that we also bring to your event. And I'm sure if we are able to come to a mutual understanding, we should have a beautiful event at
It
the
will
end.
happen. And so for all the tertiaries and some of the regions, watch out. Something good might be coming.
Definitely.
I would personally say you do this alone. Have
Mm.
you thought of bringing other caterers on board to do this together?
We did with the March edition. So the whole March concept, unfortunately, we couldn't execute it, was to bring even my own colleague food vendors in the event industry, where each vendor will represent a region in Ghana and make the food that is from that region. So let's say if we get vendor A, that vendor will do TZ and all the
From the
northern
north.
dishes. This person will do food from the Eastern Central. And it was going to be a beautiful concept because we had it all planned from costume to setting and
Oh, wow.
everything. Yes. We reached out, some turned it down. Reasons we never
Maybe
got
they didn't
to.
share your vision. So
And also
yeah, and I'm sure there might be other reasons as well. But
reason
yeah.
behind it, okay. And then with other food vendors, we open up for them to come. But Choba is not just any event.
Yeah.
Choba Experience is one special event that is to celebrate indigenous Ghanaian foods. So if we are doing Choba Experience, you can't tell me you want to come and sell burger there.
Yeah.
Burger is not one of our traditional Ghanaian meals. I mean, there's a criteria that you have to fall within. We get people want to come and do shawarma. And we have to be careful with our choice of dishes that we welcome
might
into our
lose it if we're not
space,
careful.
especially when it comes to dairy products. I mean, Obi DTZ, now I cut ice cream. Now I konya mixed feelings, And before you know, there's out there, I went to eat TZ at Choba and I'm
My
reacting.
stomach,
Forgetting that the ice cream, with the pancake, with the shawarma, with the nyama
mixing
fafa.
in
Yes. So sometimes it is for the good of our own patrons, so that they don't get to eat different types. And some of the people, we don't really know them. They are not brands that have even managed themselves on their own out there. Obibeka said they have to start from somewhere, you have to support people. No, this is food. Some people don't even have all the accreditations from the health institutions or like the FDAs, the EPAs, and all those things. But why a brand or because then those offices don't know them.
Yeah.
So if you just allow anyone to come and sell them, we might end up having all sort of issues.
That's true.
So we would love to work with a few food vendors. I won't say everyone because Obiani in the visual, Obiani the autonomy products. I mean, if it doesn't fit in, we can't open. Sometimes they think we don't want to bring people on board. The last time we tried, a lot of people were backing out at last minute, and it had to put a lot of pressure on me for me to actually prepare myself within a very short time to feed all the numbers that came. So now, if you call and we have a conversation with you and you qualify to be there, why not? If not, we are sorry we can't let you come on board. With no offense, you can still attend and have fun. Yes, we support your brand, we support your business, but we just have to follow the necessary criteria.
Wow. When is the next edition?
23rd June, which is our summer edition.
Is the venue and other details out already?
Yeah, on Team Empire. We are not moving from on Team. I think we are doing all our 2024 editions at on Team. Yeah.
Great. What's the way forward? What should we look out for in the coming months for Choba Experience?
Like you know how we do it. One good thing about Choba is that Choba has created its own sort of entertainment.
Yes.
It's the audience that make the experience. So we are always happy to welcome our people to come and make it a vibe. I mean, our DJs are good, our MCs are good, and our audience are always on top of it. So, I mean, come meet new people, vibe, catch up with someone. I mean, get some stress off you, and then I'm sure everyone will have fun.
It's on the 25th of
23rd.
June. 23rd, right?
It's a Sunday.
23rd is a Sunday, last Sunday of the month.
That's but one.
In June.
Yes.
So it's on the 23rd
or third
June.
Sunday.
Yeah,
third
23rd
Sunday
of June at the Untamed Empire. Come with your family, loved ones, friends. Let's all jam together. It's a Choba experience. Now we've done Food Bank Choba experience, and it has given birth to your second born.
A third born.
This is a third born. Yes, Food Bank, Choba, and where we are now. I'd want you to do it yourself. Where are we? Where is this place?
Okay, so we are at Kula Bistro.
Kula Bistro.
Yes, Kula Bistro. Kula, it has a different meaning depending on where it's coming from.
Okay.
So in Swahili, it means eat.
Eat.
Yes.
Okay.
And then it also means tribe or clan. So, I mean, there is Food Bank. Food Bank is the mother of all.
Yeah.
And then Food Bank caters for events.
Okay.
Just events, ceremonies.
Yeah.
And then Choba Experience is for activation. Yeah. So after doing events, you get people, even at the venue, they go like, oh, so I won't get to eat your food again.
Oh.
Hey, so until I meet you at the next event, I won't get to enjoy Food Bank's food. And then when it comes to Choba Experience, people come, and even after Choba, the Mondays especially, you get calls here and there from the Choba phone to my personal number to my Food Bank numbers. People asking where they can enjoy the food. So I sat down like, you know what? I owe my people something. Something that will bring everyone together as a tribe, as a clan. So my people, the people I feed at events, at Choba, let's all come together at Kula Bistro. So Kula is like the tribe of Food Bank and Choba Experience.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. It's a tribe of the Food Bank, the Choba Experience
coming together. So now you don't have to be at an event before you get to enjoy all those sumptuous dishes. You don't have to be at Choba Experience or after Choba when you enjoy all those good meals. You don't have to wait for months to enjoy another good meal from us. I mean, you can just come to us. We are East Legon Shiashi, and we are officially open from 27th of May, 2024.
Wow.
Yes. Wow. So you can come in and enjoy, and next to Angie Hill Hotel.
Next to Angie Hill Hotel. Folks, it started from her house, and then we moved to this place as Choba Experience, went to the Bank Square, and now the Untamed Empire. But this place has been transformed into a new baby, Kula Bistro. I say Kula Bistro. That one is Latin. Kula Bistro
Cool.
means when the people come, they should eat. Kula Bistro. That one is Latin, right? In all of this, you've been through a lot. You've gone the extra mile to put all of this together. What's that one particular life experience you can never ever forget?
Hmm. With personally or
Yeah,
with the
just now.
events?
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's about the people around you. Sometimes it's difficult to tell how people genuinely feel about you.
Okay.
And I always say that it won't be easy because, I mean, whenever you take another step
Mhm.
in your life, you should also know that there's going to be another step on someone's toes. Your your people call it hard work,
Yeah.
your efforts, your struggles, your hustles. They don't mean nothing to someone. They just feel like maybe you are lucky,
Mhm.
or maybe someone is somewhere doing it for you, or maybe you are just trying to impress. But like I always say, some of us, we have come too far to just be a brand. Yes, it's not about the name.
Yeah.
There are so many ways people see a brand. Some are here to make money.
Yeah.
They don't care about the brand. Some are there to make just brand and no money.
Yeah.
Some are there to make brand and money. Me, I'm here to make a brand and money. So you have to be careful with how you relate to people, how you open up to people, or how you close up to people. You just have to be careful and tread cautiously. Know how you just treat everyone,
Yeah.
and you'll be fine. It's not easy. I mean, to be in this kind of event space, everyone has got their favorites.
Yeah.
People have stories with people, not because they are that particular brand, but because they started with them.
Yeah.
They have been there for them. So it's only right for them to give back to them now that they think they can.
Yeah.
So if you are there and that person is not probably recommending you or talking about you and is doing it for one particular vendor who is in the same line with you,
Yeah.
you can't hate that vendor
That's true.
because you don't know the story behind their relationship.
Yeah.
Me, if you take my job from me, I'll take it as God didn't want me to do it.
Yeah.
But the ones that I know that genuinely God was bringing it to me and you take it from me, I'll come for you. I'll call you. I'll look for it. I'll ask you why. There are some I'll just ignore and take it to be like it's not mine. So I think that you have to find your purpose of being part of the industry. I will use the word industry because I mean we all get to work with each other one way or the other. So you have to find your purpose. Why that brand? Why that service? And why that personality? And then once you're able to find that purpose, you should be fine with everyone.
Wow.
Even those that don't like you, you'll be fine because you know your purpose. Your purpose is not to be their favorite. Your purpose is not to be for them. Your purpose is not to be working with them on every event. Your purpose is to make a good brand and let your brand sell for you. I believe when you put in the hard work, you do your best, you give your client respect. You don't get to that point and you think that, oh, you are so and so brand. So when you get calls, your tone is different. And when you meet clients, your relationship or your engagement is different. No, you have to treat everyone like a first timer. It's like your whole brand depends on it. Don't go begging. I don't say you should go begging or be acting all funny, but let there be respect among you and your fellow vendors, and you'll be fine.
Do you feel because you're doing well and you're a tough person, people don't like you in the industry?
I can't say someone doesn't like me or likes me. If you don't like me, I mean, that's your own issue. Because had it not been for an event, you wouldn't even know me.
Yeah.
So if you don't like me, reasons best known to you. Why won't you like me? I don't owe you. If you want to like me, you can like me. And I always say you don't inherit people's, now want of a better word, enemies.
Yeah.
Why will you inherit somebody you don't know what happened between me and the person? That's why we are not talking.
Yeah.
Silence doesn't mean guilty. I might not talk about something doesn't mean I have done it.
Yeah.
Probably if I look at where I'm going and the direction of my life, I don't have time for that. I will use that to plan for my brand, how best I can do for myself. So me, if you like me, because I'm doing well, everyone is doing well. We are all doing our best. And if you like, you post. If you like, you won't post. Yes. So if you market yourself well, they'll come and buy. If you don't market yourself well, those that still want you will come to you.
Yeah.
So if you like me or you don't like me, if I meet you outside, I'll give you food. If you eat, you eat. If you don't eat, I come in the bed, they will like, I won't even notice that you didn't eat.
Wow.
So like me or hate me, I'm food bank.
What would be your advice for younger people who want to venture into this business, or older people who are in it but are not branding or putting themselves up there?
How is branding and putting yourself out there like?
You are out there. You've positioned yourself very well. I'm sorry to say there's some auntie day somewhere who does the food, good dishes that come out, go, come. There's nothing like brand positioning. There's nothing like good marketing skills. But they are in the business. Some of them have been in this business for over 30 years. And they don't do what, I'm sorry to say, the elite people do for the setups and the whole branding thing do. They want to, but they don't know the way forward. What would be some of the few tips you would want to share?
Oh, I mean, for me, one of my biggest go-to is the love that you have for your work. Okay. It controls your actions towards it. Okay. And then also, if I'm to look at people coming up and they want to be the brands, the food brands, because I'm in the food space, let me talk about food. Take it at a time. Okay. Don't rush and be where food bank or vendor B is. Okay. Social media, it can teach you what you know, It can teach you what you know, but will make you feel like what you know is wrong. And I always say that even we that we're already in the industry, that people knows us that when you mention our name, it's connected to something, one event or the other, or one brand or the other. I still think we should also take it easy on them. Okay. I feel like sometimes we make some upcoming vendors feel like it's all easy. I remember Fiona always tells me that will it be easy? No. Will it be worth it? Yes. And it's been here. Okay. So whenever I have a challenge, I know that your troubles, they might go to sleep with you, but I mean, it is up to you to let it control you, your next step. So if you are an upcoming person, or you are even in the industry, but you are not known as brand A or B, take it a step at a time. Focus, don't lose your purpose. Once you don't lose your purpose, they'll find you. Your work will speak for you. Be creative on your own. Don't pick my picture and recreate it. Yeah. Because before you recreate it, they have seen it with Food Bank. So it loses its authenticity. Right. And I feel sometimes like, I did a copy. No. I was the last time I was selling Baba and Boache that event tells them complete that. Look, now I feel like food vendors industry, we have lost our creativity. Everybody is doing banner and sticker, chandelier and flowers, chefing dishes and toys. Flowers, they are just watching. I watch it like a flower packaging. Now we can't be creative. I mean, the early stages of my brand as Food Bank, I used to create setups that were different. When you see it online, it's different. Now I started growing with that feeling of when I do it, another vendor will do it. Yeah. So then, okay, which I am right now finding it difficult to correct or fix. And with my people, as in the food people, don't make it look too easy. I mean, don't try. sometimes they're like, why don't you do master class? Why don't you teach people how to do it? What's your understanding of master class? It took me 9 years, 10 years to know what I know now. You think I can teach you within a day or two? I can't. And you do notes. Now I call down. Then you are like chew poor forget like, oh, food bank said she used to go to the market. I can't even teach you how to price your things because maybe I have some spices I buy from Maximat, Fairway, and some I buy from Carnation, Bublushe, and Nima. And I combine it to make that delicious pasta. And I'm charging 100 cedis for the pasta. You as an upcoming person, you can't buy that spice from Maximat. How can I teach you how to price your pasta when I don't know the ingredients that makes your pasta? So I believe that we don't have to go to those people and tell them to teach us exactly how they made it. There was a time a girl came to my office. She wanted to see me. She came. I said, okay. Metara now, why? I don't like, I've been doing it. I've been pushing. And I asked her one simple question. Did you pray about what you are doing? Is this something God really wants you to do? And you are doing, or you are doing it because you saw people do it on social media and you think you can do it? Or you have the utensils, or you did jollof for your friends or your husband's friends or your cousins or your family members, and everybody was saying, oh, this jollof is the best I've ever tasted. And you think you can start a brand? No. Be careful about your decisions. You can't sell. If you see somebody doing sold out on weeks, it doesn't mean go for weeks and come because you can afford weeks. Because you don't even know how well they understand the week. You don't even know how I understand my food. So you can't learn from food bank through a master class to become food bank and start thinking that even that food banker, do you know the number of dishes I had to cook and give out for free and come back? At a point, I'll close from an event at Awudome and come and meet people lined up in my house because I'm saying they are made. Wow. And you don't want to go through all that stage. Want me to come and calculate to you that, okay, when you do 3 cups of rice, you get 1 small pan. Forgetting that I cook umbrella rice, you cook lele rice. Wow. And lele and umbrella, they don't cook the same way. They don't come out the same way. So the quantity will not be the same. So I cannot use those techniques to teach you. Find somebody, fine. You can find somebody who is in the industry, serve, learn, and your internship. Don't come and do 1 month internship. I won't mind you. Find someone, dedicate yourself to service for a year or 2. Understand it. Ask all the questions. Love the work. Know the challenges. That when a staff, do make something that is too salty, what will you do about it? Are you ready to make another pot of soup and lose that money? Can you afford the next money to make the second soup? It goes a long way. Master class, they made to me it's me actually said I'm for you. But I'm just showing you in this small pot. Now with the NHA for 200 guests. Then you bring the stew and it's like, anyway. So, you just have to take it at a time. Service. Before you can be where you want to be. You can't just be who you want to be in a day.
Serve, you need the passion, you need to be prayerful.
You have to have the purpose.
You need the dedication to make this work. Now, that's your camera. I want you to say something nice to the team at Food Bank, talk by experience, and then
it's been me and you from day one. And I thank God for the team I have. My oldest staffs are like 8 years with me.
Wow.
Yes. And it's not easy to work with me because I'm a perfectionist. Everyone that knows me said, even the photographers, when I meet them at event, take pictures for saying, when you said you're paying the pictures, so for them to work with me and come this far with me is a tough one. And I'm grateful to God for their energy, their resilience, and their spirit. They help me do it. And that's encouraging, that's inspiring. That's what motivates me and tells me that, whatever it is, you'll get through it. And I'm grateful that they've been through the journey with me. food bank, chop bar, stress. Sometimes like you have to shout, the fufu is finished, the soup is food, but there's umpachoweba with so much respect. Yeah, the omobe kakra, but I mean they always make sure that we get through the day. And now to Kula, I'm just praying to God that He will continue to surround me with those people, and to the team that helps me get through Choba experience, from the management team to the MCs, DJs, hype men, patrons, even the vendors that have been part of this whole journey. Thank you all for being there. And we hope to do Kula with you as well and celebrate the artful fusion of flavors at Kula Bistro. Cheers.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's been such an amazing time with Nana Amaro Food Bank. But even before we go, one thing you don't know about her, she's very prayerful and charismatic. So she will do a closing prayer for us before I sign out. Nana Mabompire. Hey, people don't know, but I know. I have experienced you. It's your mom pie. Your mom pie. Your mom pie. Hey, Bonakakre be mom pie kakra. Yeah, they don't know.
Wow, this IDC.
I know. I kept it for the last.
Ow, I kept Troy, this is a tough one for me.
Let's do this. Within 2 minutes, we'll be fine.
Okay, hey. Okay, Father, we thank you for today. We thank you for this evening. We thank you for speaking through us. We thank you for doing it with us. We thank you for giving us the strength, the knowledge, the wisdom to speak out and share our life story and journey and all that you have done for us. We say, take your glory. We pray that, Lord, whatever we have shared here will not just be out there in people's ears, but it will impact, it will transform, and it will also inspire people. We pray that anyone who is on a journey and feels like it's long and doesn't know the direction they are going, you will direct their path and they will not lean on their own understanding, but Lord, will live up to your will and your word. We thank you for the lives of the organizers of this podcast. We pray that, Lord, you continue to equip them with the knowledge that they need, the understanding and love that will stay among them, that they will do this and use it to impact the younger generations, and generations will come and hear of it. We thank you for the lives of everyone who listen and who will watch this, that it will transform them and it will be a blessing unto their life. We bless your holy name and we give you all the glory for an answered prayer. Amen.
Amen. I told you, it's something most of you out there don't know. She's very prayerful and charismatic. On behalf of myself, the entire production crew, share the link, subscribe, follow us on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, X, TikTok, everywhere. We're a team together and we're in this. Peace out.